Hello friends, welcome to a fresh new episode of our channel RG Innovations. If you have not subscribed already, please subscribe to our channel, click on the bell button and select all to get all future notifications of our video uploads. In today's video, I am going to discuss with you how to use a multimeter. Those who are entering into the world of electronics, either is it a basic electronics, advanced electronics or hobby electronics, multimeter is such a tool which is a must need for any electronic enthusiast. Whether we are trying to build a new project or troubleshooting, fault finding or repairing, whatever we want to do, we need a multimeter everywhere. There are different types of multimeter available in the market. I personally use this multimeter. For me, everyone uses multimeter of their own choice. This one is my multimeter with a bigger screen, with a backlight and with a hold value option. But then these are costlier multimeters. Everybody is not able to buy one. This is the most common multimeter that is available in the market, and this is the cheapest of multimeters which does its job very well. In India market, it costs around 150 rupees, and if I say about international pricing, this is available in less than $2. So today I am going to discuss how to operate a multimeter and how to measure different values with it. First, let us get introduced to a multimeter. A multimeter consists of a screen where the measurement values are shown initially, which is 0 or 1, and at the middle there is a rotary switch which rotates and selects different measurement options. We can see 3 sockets here. These 3 sockets are used to connect the probes to the multimeter. And we can also see a smaller size of sockets here. This section is used to measure transistors. And the multimeter rotary switch is marked with different segments here. These all indicates the possible measurements that we can do on a multimeter. This section indicates the DC voltage from 200 millivolt to 1000 volt. This section indicates the resistance measurement from 200 ohms to 2000 kilo ohms. This section indicates continuity testing or diode testing. This section is marked with a square wave. I will discuss about this in my next video. In today's videos, I am not covering it, but just for information, I am telling you this segment is used to generate square wave. Now, this section HFE is used to measure transistor gain. And this section is used to measure DC ampere from 200 microampere to 10 ampere. And this segment is used to measure AC voltage up to 700 volt. So one by one, I will show you how to use this multimeter. First, I am connecting the probes into the multimeter. So the black probe is always connected to this common socket, this black one. And this red probe is usually connected to the middle pin when we are measuring voltage, ohms or milliampere. But when we are measuring more than 200 milliampere, we need to connect it to the top socket. Otherwise, the multimeter will burn. So this is it. Now I will show you how to use the multimeter one by one. First, I am turning the rotary switch anti-clockwise. This segment measures DC voltage. The range is mentioned here. Up to 200 millivolt we can measure here. Up to 2000 millivolt we can measure here. Up to 20 volt we can measure here. Up to 200 volt we can measure here. And up to 1000 volt we can measure here. Now I will show you with a 9 volt battery, with a 12 volt battery, with a 3 volt coin cell. I am connecting the black probe to the back side, the negative side of the battery, and red probe to the positive side of the battery. Since I have selected to 1000 volt, it's not showing an accurate result. I need to take it to 20 volt for perfect measurement. Because 2000 millivolt will be less than this, so we have to select 20 volt for measuring anything less than 20 volt. So connected the probes with the battery and you can see it's showing 3.24 volt. So the battery is full now and meter is showing correct reading. Now I have this battery, this 12 volt 23A battery. This battery is used a little, it's not fully charged. Let's see. It's showing 8.5. These batteries usually have 12 volt, but as it is a little used, it's showing 8.5 volt. Now this one, these batteries are of 9 volt, but this battery is also used, so I am checking how much power it's remaining. It only has got 3.7 volt remaining, so the battery is almost drained. In this way we can measure batteries or any power supply. Now if we have anything higher than 20 volt, we have to measure it at 200 volt range. Let me show you. If I connect it with my external power bench power supply, I am setting it to 16 volt. Let's check it. Connecting the negative power supply to the black probe and positive power supply to the red probe. So it's showing 16 volt. Now if I set anything higher than 16 volt, I am setting it to say 24 volt. Then it's showing out of range. I have set it to 24 volt. So I need to change the rotary switch to the 200 volt range and it's showing 24 volt. So it's showing 24 volt. So this way we can measure voltage in the multimeter. Now I will show how to measure resistance. I have 4 different resistances. I do not know the value of the resistances. So I will start measuring the resistances from 200 ohms, the lowest range. Now if the resistance value is detected in this range, that is okay. If not, then we will increase the range of the resistance. So first I have kept this resistance and trying to measure it at 200 ohms range. It's showing value at 200 ohms range 99.5, 99.6. So it is 100 ohms resistance. It falls in the 200 ohms range. Now the next resistance I have this also. If I don't know the resistance value, I will set it to 200 ohms and then it's showing 10.6 or 10.5. So it's a 10 ohms resistance. This is also under 200 ohms. So we got the value. Now the next resistance I am taking. Suppose I don't know the value of this resistance. I am connecting it. So it's not showing any value. It's giving out of range. Then I am increasing the range to 2000 ohms. Checking it. Here also it's not giving any value. So I am increasing the range to 20k. Now it's showing 10.13. That means this resistance is a 10k resistance. I have one more I am showing you. Testing it at 10k range. It's not showing any value. That means it's higher than 10k. I am increasing it to 200k. Then also it's not showing any value. I am increasing it to 2000k. That means 2 mega ohms range. Now it's showing 999, 998. That means it's a 1000 kilo ohms resistance or 1 mega ohms resistance. Now let me share with you something. Some people measure resistance. What they do, they hold one side of the resistance in one hand and the other side of the resistance in the other hand. In this way you can see the resistance is showing 120 or 134. So why it is so less? It is actually a 1000 kilo ohms resistance, but why it is so less? Because when we hold the probes with both of our hands, instead of showing the resistance value, it shows our body resistance. That's why this becomes so less in value. What we have to do, we have to hold the resistance in one hand and we should not touch the other end of the probe or the other end of the resistance or the component. Just we will touch with the probe. In this way we can get the correct value of the component. So we learned how to check resistance with multimeter. Now I will show you this segment. This segment is a continuity tester segment or diode testing segment. So first let me check continuity with this. In this segment, if we touch the multimeter probe, you can see it becomes 0 and you can hear a beep sound. Let me bring the microphone closer to the meter. You can hear. The sound is very low and since the mic is near my mouth, you cannot hear the beep while I am working. So I have this wire. This is a continuous wire. Now I will check it with the multimeter. So this wire is okay. There is no breakage in the wire. Now, how to test diode? In case of a diode, we all know that diodes have two pins. One is cathode, another is anode. The side that has a band on it is the cathode side and this side is the anode side. So how to measure it? We have to touch the red probe to the anode side and black probe to the cathode side. And we can see some values on the screen. This value is not same for all the diodes, it may be different, but if this is 0 then the diode is short and if this is 1 then the diode is open. So in our case the diode is okay. We will turn the side of the diode and check. This side shows 1, that means no current is flowing in the opposite direction. So this diode is okay. And in opposite direction, if we see some value or 0, then the diode is not okay. So we learned how to test a diode. Now I will show how you can measure an LED. LEDs also have two legs. One is bigger, one is shorter. The bigger leg is the anode leg and the shorter leg is the cathode leg. For testing an LED, we have to connect the red probe to the anode pin, that is the longer pin, and the black probe to the cathode pin. Now if the LED glows, then the LED is okay, and if we connect it in the reverse direction, nothing will happen. Let's test with a different LED. Red probe to the longer pin and black probe to the shorter pin. This LED also glows, that means the LED is okay. So we tested LED. Now the next segment is square wave segment. I will discuss it in my next video. Then moving on to the HFE segment. HFE segment is used to measure the gain of a junction transistor. Let me bring the multimeter close to the screen. This section is used to measure the transistor. You can see one segment is mentioned NPN and the other segment is mentioned PNP. At this side we can measure NPN transistors and at this side we can measure PNP transistor, and we have to keep the rotary switch to this position, HFE position. Now how to measure? You can see E, C, B, E is marked corresponding to these holes. Now we have to put a transistor in the emitter in the E hole, collector in the C hole and base in the B hole. If we do not put the correct pin in the correct hole, the output will be 0. And if the transistor is broken, then there may be some values or 0. So here I have taken two transistors. One is BC548, another is BC558. 548 is a NPN transistor, this one, and 558, this one, is a PNP transistor. And if we see the pin configuration, both the transistors have the pin sequence: left pin collector, middle pin base, and the right pin is emitter. So accordingly we will test. First I am taking the NPN BC548 transistor, and as this side is the NPN side, I am pushing in the transistor in the correct sequence: collector, base, emitter. In the cheap multimeters, this does not sometimes work properly. So we have to insert the transistor and move it a little. So you see, when I inserted the transistor, it's showing a value of 326. But if I insert the transistor in a wrong direction, I'm just turning the transistor in the opposite direction and I'm inserting it. This will not show any value, or maybe 1 or 2. This is not correct value. Correct value should be between 50 to 500. See, I entered the transistor in the correct direction and it's showing a value of 325. So this transistor is okay. Accordingly, I will test the PNP transistor. It is also having the pin configuration of collector, base and emitter. So I will insert it in the correct holes. And see, I inserted, it's showing the value of 339. This is the gain value of the transistor. But if I insert it in the wrong hole, this will show 1 or 2, which is not correct. So this way we can measure transistors. Now I will show how to measure DC ampere, which is measured in this segment. For values less than 200 milliampere, we will use the middle pin with the red probe. So I will show you the power consumption of an LED. I have two LEDs, one green LED and one red LED. One thing we must note, that when measuring voltage or component, we connect the probes with that component or that power supply point in parallel. That means parallel with the battery or parallel with the component. But while measuring ampere, we have to connect the probes in series. Let me show you. I have this green LED and I have set my bench power supply to 3.5 volt. And now first I will connect the negative power supply with the black probe or the cathode probe, the anode pin of the LED with the positive power supply, and the cathode pin of the LED with the red probe. this is showing out of range. That means it is taking more than 200 microampere. So I am setting it to 20 milliampere. Now it is taking even more than 20 milliampere. Taking it to 200 milliampere. So it's showing 29.9 or 30. This LED is consuming 30 milliamperes of current. This way we can measure the current or ampere of a load. Now if we test it with the red LED, red LEDs usually work in 1.6 to 2.2 volt. So I am setting it to 2.1 volt. You can see 2.1 volt. Now connecting the anode of the LED to positive power supply and connecting the red probe with the cathode pin of the LED. Now you see this LED is glowing and it's consuming approximately 21 or 22 milliamperes. Now what if we have load more than 200 milliampere? We have to select then 10 ampere and connect the probe from the middle pin to the top pin. Let me show you. I have one more LED. I am just setting the voltage to 11.5 volt. Connecting the positive power supply to this pin, negative power supply to the black probe and the red probe to the cathode pin of the LED. You see, let me guard the light a little. You can see now it's taking approximately 650 milliamperes, 0.65 amps it's showing. That means 650 milliamperes. So this way we can measure the current consumption of any load. Now I will show the next segment, that is the AC voltage segment. In our country, the main supply voltage is 230 volt. It fluctuates between 220 to 240 volt. So we cannot measure it in 200 voltage range. We have to measure it in the 750 voltage range. But in your country, if you are having 110 volt, then you can measure it in the 200 voltage range. So I am taking an AC outlet here. So this AC outlet, before working with AC voltage, please be extra careful that you do not have any leakage or breakage in the probes or probe wire, because AC is very dangerous. Now we will move the red probe to the middle pin, voltage set to 750, and very carefully we will insert the leads into the plug. You see it's showing 230, 240. The voltage is fluctuating. So we can take an average of 240 volt. But again I am saying, while measuring AC voltage, high AC voltage or high DC voltage, be very careful because this voltage can be dangerous. So now you know how to use a multimeter and what are the different functions of a multimeter. I have shown you how to check different types of components, and this multimeter does not have auto power off function. So we need to power off it after usage. Otherwise the battery will drain and we have to reinsert new battery very soon. Hope you liked today's video, and if you like the video, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed to our channel or you are a new visitor to our channel, please do subscribe to my channel RJ Innovations. Your subscription will give me more energy to post new videos. Today up to this, we will meet again in a new video. Till then, bye bye, take care, have a nice time. Thank you.